Hello there, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night. This is Sophie Aldred.
And I'm Shawn Levy. Welcome to the legend of the Traveling TARDIS.
Wicked!
Hello and welcome, fellow Whovians, to the legend of the Traveling TARDIS. I'm your host, Paparazzo Dave Chapman, and I'm so excited. We've got a great show. We've got Sophie Aldred. We've got Shawn Levy. We're talking Ace Jack at the Inside Story. Oh my goodness. So we're on a tight time limit today. So I'm going to quickly introduce all of our friends that are going to join us on this, starting on the other side of the pond with Candyman. Hey, Mark.
Hey, guys. I want to say hi to Abby. I've got her in. She was around in Peterborough. So, hi, Abby. Thanks for joining us. And thank you for everyone else for joining us. I'm doing okay. Who else we got on the show?
Who else we got? Well, we've got no Who Knew News today, but we do still have our wonderful Gadget. Hey, Gadget.
What's up?
You all ready for a good show?
Yeah, I'm ready. This is a clue. I knew I'd find it somewhere. I even have a plastic one around here. There should be another one, too. You live in New York, you need about 3 or 4 of them.
And, of course, our philosophy is, Shawn, how you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. Really excited for this episode.
Me too. And the last of our motley crew, of course, our producer, showrunner extraordinaire, Christian. Hey, Christian.
Hello, everybody. I'll be in the other corner.
Like this.
I'll be recording there, and I'll be back later on. So I'm going to be hosting. So, yeah, get some chats in here. If you want to talk to Sophie, please get some chats. I'll be handling your chats for the first half of the show, and then Dave will be taking over the second half. So we're really excited, and we're going to be talking books. We're going to be talking about the new book. I couldn't even say the last one. I could not say the last one. So it is At Childhood's End. It took me the entire episode to get this right. So we'll be talking about that episode. We'll talking about that book, and then we'll be talking about the new book that Sophie's come out of here. So I'm very excited. All right, Muggsy, put me in the corner, the other corner, that corner.
You want to be over there for now?
I'm going to be over there for the first half. Yep.
All right, we're gonna go. And where's my hide the host?
Oh my god!
And bear with me, my browser's acting up, so I may drop out.
All right, now let's introduce our very special guests. We've got Sophie Aldred and Shawn Levy. How are you two doing?
Very good, thank you very much.
Yeah, very well, thank you.
I'm so happy to have you guys here.
Nice
Sophie, I was gonna say we've had you on before, but it's been a few years. And I'm gonna say it, I'll get it right out of the way. At Childhood End, still one of my favorite books, still the best 13th Doctor story out there.
Wow, thank you so much. That's a great accolade.
I'm also going to add this. Sophie, spot on. If I don't know why they don't use you. Well, I mean, they finally got Jodie, but if Jodie ever gives up, you need to take over.
Yeah.
You have a spot on 13th Doctor. And I was just like, oh my God. I remember when we interviewed you the last time for A Childhood Ends. I'll spend the whole episode trying to get that right.
Hey, don't worry. Even I get it wrong. So who thought of this stupid name anyway?
Hey, hey, that's not a stupid name. I can't say anything. Anyway, I'm going to stay in the corner right now for the time being. So
he's up behind the logo up in the far corner there. He's hiding.
You can't even tell anymore. It's like just a little black box. That's it with the logo.
Did you do the audio version of that, Sophie? Did you do the audiobook version? Is that what they were talking about?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
okay, very nice.
Yeah.
And so you did a spot on 13 impression. Okay.
It was very enjoyable because I had to do well. Sylvester is not as good as my Jodie. It's Sylvester's voice is very hard to do, and it's always hard for a woman to do a man's voice convincingly anyway. And his is such a kind of hybrid accent. But not even John Culshaw, who's our fantastic actor impressionist who can do everybody. He does a brilliant Tom Baker, he does a brilliant Nick Courtney, he does everyone. Even he can't do Sylvester McCoy, so I'm in good company.
You still channeled him very, very well.
Oh, thank you.
Which is unsurprising given how much time you do spend.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right? Yeah. A little easier to channel. It may not be a perfect impression, but the spirit of Sylvester was there.
Yeah, that kind of energy and verve. I can do that. Yeah. Exactly.
So let's, because I know you're on a time limit, and Kristen said we wanted to talk about at childhood and Ace Jacket. Let's start with Ace Jacket. Let's start with the new stuff.
Hey, great.
Tell us, you and Shawn, what is Ace Jacket? The inside story. What is it, and what is it for?
Well, I think Shawn can start at because he was at the very beginning of it. It came out of his head.
Yeah. I don't know. Was that a good thing? I mean,
I think so.
So right at the beginning, because I was making a Ace Jacket cosplay, and it was just difficult to find all the information online. I know Sophie very well, and I was always asking Sophie information about all the different pins and patches, and even Sophie couldn't remember most of the stuff, where they came from. And the badges kept changing every now and again in different episodes and that. And so I wanted to document everything. And while I was writing everything down, a video came out online by Crystal D, who does all the Doctor Who podcasts and everything. And so there was a lot of information there, but a lot of it was incorrect from what I was finding myself. And the information just wasn't out there. And so I wanted to try and get everything down, so to help other cosplayers and that. But I just couldn't find the information in that. So I decided to scrap that idea. And I thought maybe write stories myself about all the items on the jacket, just make it up and see where it goes. So I sent everything over to Sophie, what I had written down, and Sophie just fell in love with the idea and said, "Yep, we've got something there. We'll do a book and that." And then Sophie came up with the idea and said, "Well, why don't we just ask everyone connected with Doctor Who, see what they can come up with? We'll do a list of all the items and let them choose something." And that was it, really. Everyone just started sending stuff in to Sophie and that, and then we had to find a publisher as well, and that's where Barnaby came in to get this book published.
Yeah, it was funny. Do you remember, Shawn? I said to you when you first came to me with the idea, and I said to you, "Yeah, we could do a pamphlet about Ace's jacket." And then when I rang Barnaby Eaton-Jones, who he does a lot of audio stuff, he does a lot of publishing. He's a bit of a sort of Renaissance man, and I ran the idea past him, and I said, "I don't suppose there's any chance you'd be interested in publishing this with AUK?" And Chinbeard Books is his imprint, and he just said, "I think this is an amazing idea. Are you sure you want me to do it? Because I think don't you want to go to BBC Books or something? And that kind of gave me real courage and real sort of like, oh yeah, okay, this is a good idea. And I really wanted to use the book to help as many people as possible. One was, I love the idea of that it was Shawn's idea in the first place. Then Barnaby, I loved the idea of giving it to a small publishing house. And then we had the idea of making sure that the profits were going to go to charities. And Shawn, we chose charities to do with autism, didn't we? We've got one each, because there's a lot of Doctor Who fans. I'm sure there's people watching here who have autism, and it's a challenge. And so we decided that was what the money was going to go to. And then I started collecting people, and every convention I went to, I'd have conversations with people. I can see Kate is on at the moment. I asked Kate because she had a particularly inspiring story. She's from Siberia. I'm sure you don't mind me saying this. And she had learnt to speak English from listening to Big Finish audios, and was at the time I met her in Dublin, had just finished a master's in molecular biology or something very clever anyway, and was saying that was entirely due to Doctor Who. And I thought, wow, that's inspiring. So she wrote something, all sorts of people, people from all over the world. And then David Tennant did the there she is. Then David Tennant did a forward for us. Jodie Whittaker answered some questions. We've got Hugh Bonneville in there. We've got Frank Skinner in there. We've got the most beautiful artwork as well. People like Barnaby Edwards, who he does the inside of Daleks, and he does a lot for Big Finish. He's also a fabulous artist, and he illustrated his partner's story absolutely beautifully. We got a cartoon from Peter Capaldi, which was amazing. Neil Cole did some amazing. I can't mention everybody. There's just so many people. They were so kind
Stephen
of.
Moffat did,
Yes, Stephen Moffat, Chris Chibnall, of course. I've forgotten Chris. But I would just go around collaring people at conventions or wherever I was, or I'd ring people up and say, can you do this? Russell T Davies was gutted. He wanted to do something, but he's got a policy that of when he's working on the show, he had made a choice for himself not to do anything that was unlicensed. And I really respect that, and I think that's great. So yeah, he's missed out, sadly. But everybody else you can think of, Bonnie Langford, Peter, all the doctors, and it's just, the list is endless. And I'm so delighted with this sort of incredible eclectic mix of people and what they chose and what they wrote. Nicola Bryant and Nev Fountain did sort of complementary stories, being partners. That was wonderful. Gosh, I'm going to leave people out, but it's a good read and a good look. Katie Manning, thank you, Shawn. And tell us about the design as well, Shawn. What do you think of that?
Well, I mean, when I sent my stuff over to Sophie, I actually did my own design as well. But obviously, I took a picture from online. So me and Sophie was putting our heads together, and we saw. I think we both basically said together that we knew someone that may have some photographs that don't belong to the BBC, and that was Stephen Cook, who took photos of Sophie in I think late 80s, 90s, and that. So we asked. Sorry. So we asked Stephen, do you have any photos that you own that don't belong to the BBC? And he said, yeah, I've got like some negatives and that, and some photos. And and he kindly gave us one to use for the cover, which is, excellent. I mean, you might recognize it. It's had a bit of work done to it, but it's from the series of photos that was done, I believe, at Crystal Palace with the dinosaurs back in the early 90s, I think. So yeah, the design is fantastic. The book cover.
It was a shoot for Doctor Who magazine, actually. So that photo originally appeared in Doctor Who magazine, and then you'll see that the background and all the rest of the design of the book is done by Robert Hammond, who Barnaby uses a lot for designing his books. And I am so thrilled with the look of the book. It's a thing of beauty, and Robert did an amazing job on the layout and the whole graphics and the design of it. So yeah, it's funny. Somebody said, wow, it's a real coffee table book. And actually it's so big that I said, well, it's actually a coffee table.
Love it. But there's so much there. It couldn't really be smaller.
No, that's right. Well, people were really inspired and they kept coming back with these stories, and we couldn't possibly not include everybody who'd submitted something. And then another thing that we did, which I mustn't forget, is that I think it was my idea. I'd got very moved by several people who'd said to me over the years what Ace's jacket had meant to them, particularly a friend of mine, Nick, who lives in Adelaide, Australia. And Nick had said to me they were going through a lot of health issues and would take their Ace jacket to the hospital with them as a kind of comfort blanket. And I thought, wow, that's just amazing. And as I spoke to people, other people had a similar experience. So I had the idea, again, of asking fans with their Ace jackets to take a photograph of themselves and send them in. And say what Ace's jacket meant to them, and also what job they did if they had a job, because I think that's very interesting to find out a little bit about who people are and why they had thought of having an Ace jacket cosplay. And so we've got this galactic gallery at the back with quite a few. I hope that we'll be able for book 2 to include some more of those, because that was great to be able to include fans as well.
Mm-hmm. Abby actually just popped a question into the chat about if there was any more books on the horizon, and you kind of half answered that there. So there's another book on the way.
Well, the thing is, we haven't got round to doing what Shawn originally wanted us to do. We didn't have room for it, which is actually a book all about cosplay and which badges go where and in different stories, because turns out, who knew, I had several different jackets. I mean, this is a bit of a spoiler, but I'm not going to say much about it because we found somebody who has been able to give us amazing information that's been gathered over many, many years. And we're going to use a lot of his information, but it's going to take quite a long time to sort of piece it all together and to get it into a manageable size for book 2. But so for the moment, book 1 is an anthology of these amazing stories and pictures and poems as well. Matthew Waterhouse wrote a sonnet, for example. And then book 2 will be about the history of the jacket and the origin of all the badges in real life. And so we're beginning to work on that now.
Yeah, and also it will help anyone that wants to make a cosplay build to do an Ace cosplay. This will be the one-stop place to go. This second book,
that's incredible. I don't want to monopolize you guys too much here. So I did. Shawn, our philosophy is: did you have any questions for Shawn and Sophie?
I did. I had a comment first. I know that I always knew that Ace was a fan favorite character, but I didn't know how much significance even the jacket has to people. I think that's very sweet, especially.
Yeah. No, it is. It's true.
And I wanted to make sure that you guys could hear me through all of that because my internet is spotty right now. I did have a question about the jacket book, if you don't mind.
Of course, fire away. That's what we're here for.
Right. So I write short stories myself a lot of the time. And I know that one thing I try to do is I try to not imagine the story in my head as like something that would necessarily be on a screen, but more like something that would be playing out in front of me. Since you're writing about material that's obviously most of the time depicted on screen, being the Doctor Who universe, when you're writing a short story, or even when you're looking for, maybe if you're suggesting ideas for other people, do you picture those things in your head more as like, okay, I'm picturing Doctor Who as it was in the 80s, or are you picturing Doctor Who as a new Who or something else entirely different, sort of directing it in your mind as you would? How does that happen in your mind as you're writing and even reading through and collecting Doctor Who stories?
That's a really great question. It's very much of its time. So I see how old the Ace is and what the context is. But then don't forget that Ace is she's untethered from from 1987. But in some of these stories, I was amazed at how people chose to take her back to school, or the younger Ace. And then some people had chosen to put her with people from history. Some people didn't even write about Ace at all. The badge had sparked a memory or something for themselves. So it was a real difference. But personally speaking, I mean, I wrote a short story for another great book called Origin Stories, which was published by Penguin Books. I think it was Penguin. And in that story, this was Ace before she met the Doctor. And I was definitely visualizing that sort of 15-year-old Ace in situ in the 1980s in Perivale. And it was definitely the Perivale of survival going back there. So yes, I definitely picture the scene as I think I'm visual. I'm a visual person anyway, so I do that. But then also it's important to just have the whole soundscape, the whole but yes, I think it's mainly I'm picturing the scene.
Very interesting. Yeah, I know there's a lot of different people who have different things they're doing sort of as they're writing, but typically I hear novelists talk about that when they're writing original things, and that's what's so great, I think, about writing extra Doctor Who stuff is that it's like you can draw off of the period and you can also draw off of stuff just in your own mind, and it sounds like you're kind of doing that and kind of saying, okay, this is what I'm going to do here, and kind of making it your own, and I think that's really cool.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, and I have a question. I have a million questions I could ask as a follow up, but I'm going to let someone else ask a question, or I'll take up the whole time. But thank you very much for answering that.
My pleasure.
Well, actually, Dave, we got quite a few questions in the chat. Can I bring those up for you?
Yeah, go for it.
I want to do one question. I'm going to actually add on top of that. Hang on. Let me go ahead and remove that. So, and this question I think is going to be for both Sophie and Shawn. And I lost the question. Anyway, Billy says, I'm not familiar with Ace Jacket. Being from the other side of the pond, could you please explain what is Ace Jacket? I would also like to add on top of that question, because we have new Whovians coming constantly. How would you explain Ace Jacket to somebody who just started watching it on Disney Plus, who may not be familiar with Ace at all, or has just never seen Ace?
Or was at a younger age like I was, that I was just getting into it and everything.
Who wants to take that?
Shawn, you go first.
You volunteered.
I'll drop you in it.
You are so host, Shawn. You are so host. I'm sorry.
I was trying to be polite.
Oh, okay.
Well, I mean, let me just say, so Ace, the character, is, I would say, probably one of the well-known characters from Classic Who. I mean, always voted on top, the best companion in magazines and everything. I mean, obviously, she's always appearing in the Doctor Who magazine all the time. So, I mean, you can read up on Ace, the character there. But yeah, so Ace jacket, the book is based on the jacket that the character wears almost throughout the series Sophie was on. I mean, it's one of the most, I think, cosplay companions from the Classic era, and so it's an iconic jacket where it's basically covered in pins, patches, and the character itself is the companion of the Seventh Doctor, Sylvester McCoy, and also has appeared in the Dimensions in Time special, and it was also in NuWHO as well. So anyone on who's joined NuWHO would have seen Sophie appeared as Ace with Jodie Whittaker. I mean, maybe does Sophie want to take over from there?
Yeah, sure. Yeah. I think, well, Ace was Sylvester McCoy's companion from 1987 to 1989. And then we started doing these Big Finish audios. I've been playing this character for, I think probably more than I haven't in my life, more than half my life now.
Since Gallifrey's been around.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And then, as Shawn said, I appeared in The Power of the Doctor, which was chosen to be the 100th anniversary of the BBC Doctor Who celebration story. And there was a moment where Ace's jacket came out of the floor. I opened a hatch in the floor and pulled the jacket out, and it was brilliant. We spent so long doing that shot. I was thinking, hang on a minute, this jacket's more important than I am. And they were calling it the hero jacket, which is
your TARDIS.
Quite right. Yeah.
Wasn't the jacket originally yours?
Yes, and I've still got the jacket hanging in my cupboard. So yes, and it was my idea as well. So it does feel very close to me. It's sort of close to my heart, the jacket. And what I love about it is that it is a very nice costume for cosplayers to wear, because it's kind of practical, it's warm, you can even wear it out. Nobody's going to bat an eyelid, really, apart from saying, wow, what a cool jacket. People customize their own jackets as well, so they don't just copy the badges that I had, but they put badges like Ace did of all her favorite things on their jacket, which I love.
Sophie, can I add on top of this? Oh, I'm sorry, Mark, I didn't mean to cut you off there,
I was going to say, following on from what Sophie was saying about badges, there's a couple of badges which is on the Ace jacket that Sophie has told me the stories of past, which the US audience may not understand, and those are Blue Peter badges.
Yes, Blue Peter is a very, very long running and very, very popular children's show in the UK, and it's a kind of magazine program. There's usually 3 presenters, and they do loads and loads of different wonderful items, go off on expeditions. And if you send in an idea for the program or a picture or something and they like it, they send you a Blue Peter badge. So everybody in the UK knows what a Blue Peter badge is. And I had 2 on my jacket, and they had to check with the production office at the Blue Peter production office that they were actually my genuine badges, because you're not allowed to wear them unless you've actually won them fair and square and got them from the program itself. People do cheat a bit and get them on eBay, but mine are genuine badges, which I got when I was sort of, 9 and 11 years old. So I'm very proud of them.
Blue Peter as well. It's sort of it's not necessarily a companion show, but it's been very sort of integral to the history of Doctor Who culture, hasn't it?
Oh yes, absolutely. It is. So it's a kind of, they've always reported on Doctor Who. They've always had people from. It's a kind of cross-fertilization, and probably the biggest version of that is that Peter Purvis, who was a Blue Peter presenter back in the 1960s, who I remember growing up watching, was also a Doctor Who companion. So that's about the biggest crossover you can possibly get.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and Colin Baker and Sylvester McCoy have written their stories based on the badges as well in the
That's
book.
true, yeah.
If I could add this, because I'm going to go full circle on this, I would say the jacket is as complicated as Ace, because each patch represents a different story, a different timeline, a different venue. All of them are so important to Ace, but it goes on one jacket, it goes on Ace. Because what is it? The story where she becomes a Time Lord, or the one that she goes on off her own, or the one that she has a falling out with the Seventh Doctor. But they're all Ace. They're all on this jacket together. And I think, who put it there? Yeah, as Timescale says, yeah, it's almost like Tom Baker's scarf. It's a definition of who Ace is, in a wearable form. So, and it goes all the way back to this book, At Childhood Inn. And when she meets the 13th Doctor, and there's all these parallel timelines that is the part of Ace. But which one is the real timeline, or is there one? So I thought that was a cool book. And I also have to say, if anybody's going to get this book, you also should get the audio that Sophie Aldred does. Because if Jodie ever drops out, I want Sophie to take over. She is spot on 13th Doctor. So Jodie, if you ever give up, we got a job for Sophie right there.
I've got a funny story about that. When we were filming The Power of the Doctor, there's a scene where we're all in the TARDIS together in the big console room. We're around the console, and the 13th Doctor comes and she places us around the console because we've got to pull certain levers and we were all hanging around waiting for setting up the shots and so on. And we were chatting away, and Bradley Walsh was being his usual really wonderful, funny self, and somebody said to me something. Oh, it was Gemma. She said to me, "Sophie, you do a lot of voiceover work, don't you?" And I said, "Yeah, I do." And she said, "What's that one that you did when you were the little boy?" And I said, "Oh, what, Tree Fu Tom, you mean?" And Jodie turned to me and she said, "Tree Fu Tom?" She said, "You're Tree Fu Tom?" And I said, "Yeah." And she said, "Oh my!" She couldn't believe that I was. And then I was actually thinking, and I just thought, no, I don't really know her well enough to say, actually, I do you as well in the audio books, because I knew that she'd want me to do her in front of her, and that's always embarrassing. So I quite mention that, really. So I don't think she knows.
Nah, you should do her voice just right in front of her.
She just did it now. It was good.
I gotta say,
do it again. We got a ton of questions coming up over here, but Dave, do you want to take a quick break, and we'll be back and we'll hit everybody's questions along the way? You got it. When we return, as far as our friends in the UK, yes, we got a commercial break. When we return, we're going to continue our discussion with Shawn Levy and Sophie, talking about her new book, Ace Jacket, The Inside Story. When we return, we'll be right back.
Rogue One. This This is the movie that comes butts directly up against Star Wars: A New Hope. They run right into each other, and right out of Andor. We'll just get that out of the way. We know that we're gonna try to keep the Rogue One, but we know we're gonna talk Andor.
Are you a movie nerd? Do you collect VHS, DVDs, CDs, records, and so much more? Are you looking for clothing from 1940s to 2000s? Do you need cosplay or themed outfits? Come to Ducky's Vintage. We have it all for all budgets, located at the Oviedo Mall right off of the 417. Ducky's Vintage for those born in the wrong decade.
I'm author Mark Muncy.
And I'm author Erica Lance.
And this is Eerie Travels.
Greetings, travelers. Join us as we travel through folklore, myths, monsters, legends, and dark history.
Now, we'll be your guide to the spooky side of reality as we discuss cryptids, paranormal, and all things preternatural.
Sometimes we find the truth is way scarier than fiction.
We're on twice a week on your favorite podcast platforms, including iTunes, Spotify, Amazon, and YouTube.
We have amazing guests from all of the areas of the strange and unusual, including witnesses, investigators, and more.
Yeah, with Erica's curiosity and ridiculous array of pop culture and true crime knowledge.
And Mark's decades of experience diving into folklore and the legends with the truth that's behind them.
Yeah, so join us, travelers, as we take you to the edge of reality, and we'll see you on the other side.
I didn't listen to that voicemail. I'll tear open that letter you sent. Don't you tell your friends I want you back. I gotta leave you now and unread, because you've already said those words that switch my heart to dead from loving you. So you'll stay ghosted and I'll stay focused. I'll sew enclosed. The spell stays unspoken. A dark silhouette of a marked man and broken. Right down. I didn't listen to that voicemail. I'll tick-tock that story you sent. Don't you reel me in to get me back. I'm gonna leave you now.
This is Sophie Aldred with the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS.
And welcome back to the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS. This is Christian Basil now taking over the hosting job of our show. And we want to introduce you to the lovely Sophie Aldred, who's got a new book out called Ace Jacket, The Inside Story. Plus, I know people have been talking about this, so just right, Billy. This is possibly the last bottle of Kitchen Killers in the Orlando area right now, and that's all that's left because we sold out of both conventions. And we want to thank everybody at Ancient City Con for hosting us out there. We truly appreciate that, and they've invited us and the Dalek Builders for next year. So we just had a blast. And Sophie, I don't know if you've seen Daleks play R&B role play. But there it is right there. They actually had a 20-sided dice, and the Daleks were the bad guys in this game, and it was just a treat. So in order from left to right, Hal, Nelson, and Nim are the Daleks from the Daleks of Florida. Do you have your own, Sophie, you fought off Daleks. I mean, have you seen guys like this playing a role-playing game or anything like that?
I've never seen Daleks playing D&D. That is cool. That's something new for me.
It is absolutely new. It was new for us too. It's just like, and they actually were going to get them in a conga line to go around the building. Unfortunately, they don't do bumps on. If you can see the red line on the right hand side, right there.
Oh
it's a bump, and even that much bump they could not get over. So
you tell me about it. Yeah, when we were filming on cobbled streets. And that was very challenging for the Daleks. They did look a little as though they'd had a bit too much, of the old chili sauce, shall I say.
It we were trying to get them out here in the street. It was almost like, don't jump, don't do it, don't jump out there, don't do it. Also, if you're joining us with the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS, all up until October 31st, we are celebrating early Halloween, and the Traveling TARDIS is going around. This has actually been taking place at Spirit Halloween, if anybody is familiar with the store, with a little edit out there. So we are celebrating Halloween now up until October 31st. So everybody, welcome back, and we'll go ahead and get to the questions. And let me go ahead and drop that. And
Well, Sophie
I'm
was
back in that corner.
What?
Well,
there you
I
go.
just came back. I haven't been on stream. Change it.
Well, Sophie, you were talking about
With
cosplay
me,
and everything is the next book and stuff. And one of my friends that was texting me just now reminded me of something I bought years ago. I do cosplay variants where it's not the actual cosplay, but it's like a variant and everything. We forgot we had this, and it was going to be altered to have like look like yours, but like a variant where the A was on the front instead. We found it in a store.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we were just going to do a variant on it. And because a lot of people do that nowadays, they'll won't do the actual because of copyright. So we have to go, what can we use? And this one, I forgot it was in the closet. It's been sitting for so long because I never really got to go to a WHO convention. And the one I did, we don't talk about and everything. I never got to wear it. So yeah.
There you go. Well, I encourage you to, yeah,
we just got to do the back. You can see the company that made this. No shout out. I don't know if they're still in existence, but Apple Bottoms had made this, and we were just gonna redo it and everything. But everyone said it looks good this way.
Amazing.
So I forgot I had that, and the bat's over there and everything. But I just love the fact your book is a charity for autism, because I have some cousins that are and friends, and some other people in my life that have autism. I'm dyslexic. And I'm glad that you guys, like, what is your charity about and everything?
Well, we've chosen two, haven't we, Shawn?
Yes.
I mean, I guess my one is the National Autistic Society, which just offers support for families with, well, whoever has autism of whatever kind and who's been diagnosed, they get support and help. And then Shawn, yours is a little bit different, isn't it?
Yeah, mine is called Autism All Stars, and cosplayers do different events throughout the country to raise money for autism. And yeah, I wanted
particularly for children, isn't it? Your one?
Yeah, because I wanted to include something that involves cosplayers as well, and I've worked with them a few times at shopping centres. We've had Doctor Who themes and just raising money. Yeah, lots of money for the different autism charities and that. Yeah, and they just do a lot of work helping people with autism.
If people can't get the book right now because of how everything's going on with the postal, can they donate to the charity itself?
For sure, yeah. Or even, because the charities we've chosen happen to be in the UK. But I mean, please feel free to donate to your local autism charity. I think that would be a great thing to do if that's something you want to do. And there are people, I can see there are people from all over, of course, on this podcast. So yeah, just look up your local and donate.
Whatever you can do to help, and you should buy the book because it's an awesome book. You should buy the book, but of course it helps to, if you don't have the means, or if you want to do it another way, you always want to help out these charities whenever. I know we're on the time crunch, so Sophie, here we go. We're going to go as fast as we can on these questions. How many patches were on Ace's jacket?
Ooh.
Oh, that's a moot point, isn't it, Shawn? It very much varied depending on which ones fell off, which ones I lost in a quarry. I lost one of my Blue Peter badges in a quarry, and they had to bike another one down for me. And so, yeah, but there's probably around, what would you say, 50, Shawn?
I would say, yeah, over 50 at least. I mean, some badges you only see once in the very first episode, the first story, and they just kept changing. I mean, I'm learning all the time, and I mean, everything will be revealed in the second book, but we won't go into that too much. But yeah, I would say well over 50 items.
Spoilers.
I think you meant. I'm sorry.
Didn't we cover them all in the first book story?
Yeah. So yeah, we finally got around to getting every single item shown in the book.
We kept having panics, didn't we? Because we suddenly noticed at the last minute, Shawn texts me late one night and says, "Oh no, we haven't done the American football badge." And luckily, we managed to get in touch with Frank Skinner, who I don't know if you know him over in the States. But he's a wonderful comedian, writer. He
did appear in one of the stories. I can't remember which one now. With
yes, he did. Mummy on the Train, wasn't it? I think.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah.
Yeah, and anyway, he overnight he wrote the most brilliant piece for us for the book. So that was a relief. Phew.
How much effort does it take to wash the jacket? All those badges. Did it ever hinder production of the show?
Well, how old is it now? 87 to 2025. How many years is that? Somebody quick. I'm
38, right?
38.
Everybody put an answer in the chat.
87 or 87, right?
I think it's 38.
97,
38 years, something
What
like
you
that.
should do, Sophie, is you should count it when you start, and then subtract how many are and what are left over when you're done with it. I love the cover.
I have to fess up. It's never been washed.
A few cosplayers will understand what you mean.
It is really grubby, I have to say. The original.
It smells.
It's not grubby. It's experienced.
Yeah, 38 years.
It's got experience on
it. And spoons. I love the cover. Who's
and
the cover
pyrotechnics.
Yes.
Did we ask that question? I love the cover.
We did, yeah. Well, the photograph is taken by Stephen Cook, and the graphics and the design and the way it's put together. Oh, the first one on book one. And the second picture, actually, the second photograph is a photograph I did in a studio a couple of years ago with a friend of mine, Harry, who he was having a session, and he very kindly asked me to go along too. And I loved that photograph so much. So that's sort of, young Ace and old Ace. And then the design itself in the background and the design of the book is the very, very talented and wonderful Robert Hammond.
I see it differently. I see it before Ace beats a Dalek to crap, and then after she beats a Dalek.
Yes, that's good.
I think it's good. We're going to try to get as many questions as we have. I would love to recreate Ace Iconic's jacket. It's beautiful, phenomenal punk. Hi, Sophie. Long time no see. This is Liz Witt. The book is, of course, amazing. So if people haven't bought it yet, why not? Yeah, that's a good question. Let's start asking them. Hello, what's your favorite patch? Pins. I personally love the camel.
Oh, I love the camel too. The camel was given to me by my mum. We have a sort of in joke about camels. So yeah, that's one of my favorites as well.
Gotcha. If you were asked to do a spin-off of, would you do it? Of course she would. That's not even a question.
Let me think. Yes,
it's
in
like,
a hole.
Would you like a job?
I would give anything for Graham and Ace.
Oh yeah,
that
would
show.
Mm-hmm.
I think
Disney Plus. Are you listening to this? Are you going to set up a section in the museum, Doctor Who museum section? Are you going to set up a section in the Doctor Who section of a museum? Okay.
Oh well, for anybody who's in the UK and can get to Peterborough, then there's a very good exhibition with some stuff from my era there. And then there's also the most wonderful exhibition in Neil Cole's Museum of Classic Sci-Fi up in Northumberland near Hadrian's Wall, which is you should go anyway. It's got all sorts of, it's the smallest museum you've ever been to, but it's got the most things in it that you've ever seen. And I've donated quite a lot of my costume bits and things to Neil, and he's beautifully displayed them all. So yeah, it's been done.
I'm just running through the answer to the question that we had earlier. 38.
I'll go
never ask a math question.
Sophie, let us know when you got a bill. Is there Billy says, is the jacket her trademark like Dr. Yeah, I think we mentioned that. Yeah.
I think the jacket, the Nitro 9 and the baseball bat, I think, are Ace's 3 trademarks.
I want Nitro 99.
Explosive. It's a homemade nitroglycerin that does away with alien beings.
It works in theme parks too. Anyway, how many pages is Ace jacket, the inside story illustrations, and where can we buy it now? We do have the link.
Hang on a minute.
There you go.
Have a look. That's the final page, and it's page. Where's the page number? There it is. 264.
Oh, you get.
Oh, wow.
You're getting your money's worth here, there, folks.
That is a very large book. I hadn't seen it before.
It's a very large book. Yeah.
Do you now have duplicate Blue Peter badges now, or they just jump between jackets for filming?
Yeah, they sent me a new one, and so luckily I've still got mine. It's a bit sad because one of them was my actual one that I had when I was a child, and that's, well, I suppose it might be unearthed in the quarry somewhere at some time in the future. An old
never know
Blue Peter badge.
If it's in a quarry, Doctor Who crew is going to find it for sure.
Yeah.
And if it's meant to come back, it'll come back.
Exactly.
What do they call the boot sale or whatever?
Yes.
This is a deep question, Craig. I was just getting into Doctor Who in 1988-89. What possible effect on a 12-year-old could Sophie have? Wow.
I love
it. That's a deep question. Yeah, you don't have to answer it. Anyway, question about filming in the jacket. Since it has so many safety pins and sharp badges, did you ever end up pricking yourself on them while filming?
That's a good question, and yes. They had sharp bits on to put them through, and you didn't have those special things they have now, where you can screw the back on properly. So they had to actually put sticking plaster on a lot of them to stick them on, and sew them on with see-through nylon thread as well. But the sticking plaster, if that came off, yes, it would be quite sharp.
Hey, Sophie, will you ever do Blu-ray or DVD of your best episodes from Doctor Who?
Well, there are the Blu-ray box sets which are available, and they are brilliantly done. If you haven't heard of them or haven't found them out, they are so fantastic to get hold of, because not only have they got the episodes, but they've got the remastered episodes with extra footage that was not in the originals. They've got loads of extras on them. We do a really great segment called Behind the Sofa, where we're watching old Doctor Who episodes and making comments about them. And there's loads and loads of brilliant stuff on those. So yeah, do seek those out if you haven't already, but not until you've bought my book.
Yeah, that's right. And speaking of buying her book, there you go. It's in the chat. You can go over to her website, sophiealdred.com/ace jacket, the inside story. You can just,
and if it's not quite there yet, because you can get a signed copy, I'm going to ask my web person tomorrow, the wonderful Matt Evenden, if he will get it up for sale as soon as possible, because I've got lots of copies, and you can have for a small fee you can get it signed.
Well, I'm having Shawn bring mine.
Yeah, you can have a courier, of course.
Exactly. And if you're not familiar with Sophie's website, right there it is. There you go.
When you get it signed, can we also get it signed for Jodie Whittaker's disembodied voice? Can you do that autograph as well? Because I didn't tell you, when you did that, I knew it was coming, and it still startled me, and I was like, wow.
It's so funny, because one of the things that Jodie says in real life a lot is Ace, she says. So that's quite funny.
Wicked. All righty, Sophie, thank you so much. I know you got to go. Sophie, is there any place or you want to tell folks where you're going to be coming up so they can find you?
Oh my goodness, there's so many places. There's a very good website that somebody...
Well, can I give you the address to my house? I mean, if that's going to be added here. I buy you dinner.
I'm going to be at a museum in Lynham in Wiltshire on Saturday. Following week, I'm going to be at Who on the Wirral in near Liverpool. Basically, if somebody can quickly put in the chat what that brilliant website is, where that person trawls through and says where all the Doctor Who people are going to be appearing, then they know better than I do. So,
Gotcha. Shawn, where are you going to be appearing beside your house? And where's Jade?
Jade is sitting right next to me.
Yeah, but Jade, come
Get her
on
air for crying out loud.
Hi.
Oh, Jade.
Hey, Jade.
Hi.
How do you put up with this guy? Anyways, Shawn, where are you two going to? Where are you two?
Yeah, I've got a local con coming up at the end of the month called DevCon in Plymouth, and I'm still in two minds at the moment whether to do a talk on my own, because Sophie was going to join me, but it had to get changed, the date, so she no longer could do it. But I believe Sophie will join me next year at DevCon, and we should be doing a talk together on stage there. But that's basically probably the only con this year I've got left, because I don't usually travel down to London now anymore to go to the cons. It's just all local ones. But I must say, Christian, I mean, possibly I'll be bringing 2 books next year.
Oh, okay, you better
for you. But I'm dreading how much it's going to cost me on the extra weight in the luggage.
Absolutely, yeah.
Carry on.
Are heavy.
I'll have barbecue sauce waiting for you.
That's the thickness of the book. Because if you're lucky enough to get the new sort of version of it, it jumps up to 272 pages.
Oh my god!
No!
Just leave one of your kids at home for.
Yeah, it probably weighs as much as Ruby Sue, doesn't it?
Yeah, I would imagine so. Yes.
Is that the new metric in the UK? It's Ruby Sue's now. Anyway.
Yeah. 3 Ruby Sues.
And we're going to go ahead and end the show, but we have one more thing before we guys let you go, and we do this for every episode. It would be our honor if you could do it in the closing of our show. We say goodbye to a good friend who we lost this year, and I think you guys have seen him in the circuit, but he used to be one of our panelists. He actually has his own channel here at the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS, and used to be a panelist here to help us out. So everybody, Shawn and Sophie, if you could lead in to saying goodnight, Simon.
Oh
yes, yeah. I got to know Simon quite well at cons and that. Yeah, he was a lovely chap. Yeah, we do miss him.
Gotcha. If everybody in the chat could do the same thing, just say good night, Simon. So Sophie, Shawn, 1, 2, 3. Good night, Simon. Everybody, let's go for it.
Good night,
Simon.
Simon.
And Tony, as always, take us out.